In the fortress, the nation of shadow workers tirelessly seal the breaches caused by the fallen tree. The heat and humidity forces a worker to block a hole, which causes another to imitate the action, then a third. As long as the job is not finished, the city is still vulnerable. By dispersing the mold and mushrooms, the mud poisons the city's atmosphere and gravely knocks out the communication between termites. Slowly, the mud penetrates to the depths. If the queen dies, the empire will fall. Weighed down by thousands of eggs, prisoner of her fate, the queen is unable to escape. Her workers can do nothing for her. deluge has stopped. The entire city is petrified, choked by the thick mud. Their system of exchanging messages, on which everything relies, has become nearly impossible. Humidity threatens to destroy the stacks of food. The mold proliferates, causing the atmosphere to turn toxic. Whatever the obstacles, driver ants continue to advance, forming living bridges by linking together. Water level has dropped. Saved, the queen continues to lay eggs. On this second day, the delays in repairing the damage caused by rain create a new threat. The inhabitants of the city will, for the first time, be in direct contact with the atmosphere of the humid plain. Again, the destruction must be repaired. The task is so important, even the soldiers cannot focus on chasing intruders from the city. This intruder is detected by the termites, who perceive it as a single moving mass of odor and heat in their city. Care must be given to the nymphs. The mushroom, the vital reserve for the city, and of course, the almighty Queen. The machine will start again. All help in the task with boundless devotion, pushed on by the magic of chemical links. Destiny has not had its final say. Larvae, survivors of one of the flooded chambers, found refuge not far from a chimney damaged by the tree. While the future kings and queens prepare for flight, the wind begins to howl, swaying the damaged fortress. Escaping through the gaping faults, the odors spread over the humid plain. And these fragrances reach all the way to the Black Queen's column. The worker ants approach the edge of the fortress. By instinct, all the animals run. The Black Queen's column invades the ruined tower occupied by the Ponera ants. A war between two carnivorous nations begins. Faced with the superior numbers of the fierce driver ant warriors, the Ponera ants flee. For now. The Black Queen's troops have taken control of the abandoned city. A strategic outpost facing the fortress. They smell a fabulous bounty. Maybe they can recuperate here before seeking their fortunes elsewhere. The eve of the third day, destiny hesitated once again. Termites, ants, which of these two worlds would be victorious? In the early morning, everything is still calm. Time stops. Strikes camp, giving the signal for the assault. First wave of driver ants arrive at the fortress gates. The first soldiers engage. Dropping from the toppled tree, the assailants land right on target. The Black Queen positions herself in the rear guard, up in the tree. The sentries are overrun. By all routes, through cracks and flight holes, the enemy infiltrates. Strong jaws shatter the royal destiny of the winged termites. In the depths of the city, no alarms have sounded. No one suspects. The columns have formed clusters and infiltrate from chimney to chimney, from gallery to gallery. Thanks to scent, these aerial columns are chemically linked to the Black Queen, positioned on the tree. The enemy closes in on the vital centers of the fortress, the rooms containing the mushrooms, and the most precious booty of all, larvae. Nymphs and larvae are the most ideal prey because they are defenseless. In the royal chamber, the approaching danger causes widespread panic. The workers fall into a trance, then form a frenzied circle around the queen. Isolated in the galleries, The last termite soldiers are powerless to help. How to save the Queen? The only possible strategy is to draw on their skills as builders. To block as quickly as possible the galleries that allow access to the royal chamber, and isolate the Queen in her dungeon, the last bastion of resistance. As the workers seal the Queen in her inner sanctum, the driver ant army develops a system to raise the prey and transport it back to camp. During this temporary withdrawal, workers, soldiers, larvae, and nymphs hurry to seek refuge in the Queen's chamber before it is totally sealed. They are the city's last hope for survival. The driver ants are in pursuit, seeking any path that may still be open. last entrance is discovered. The guards fail. The driver ants surge past and break into the Queen's sanctuary. The scent of combat fills the enclosed space, causing collective panic and battle frenzy. Soldiers defend their throne and ultimately the fate of the colony. It is here that the destiny of the termite nation will be decided. The larvae try to protect themselves by hugging their queen, and risk drawing the wrath of the driver ants down upon her. Everything seems lost.